Hey YouTube, in this deck profile I'll be doing a deck profile on my Nubatama deck. So this is my Akatsuki Hanzo deck. So I changed my Fuzencongo, which was the first edition of the deck. The second edition was my Jamyocongo deck, which for a while I actually had Jamyocongo in this current deck. I had him at like 3 copies. Originally I think I had him at 4, I think he was the alternate. Then I dropped him to 3, then I dropped him to 2, and then I took him out completely because I wanted to maximize the consistency of being able to get evil decoy tokens, because evil decoy tokens are really what this deck is all about. It's the new, not new anymore, but like the current like style of play that was introduced with Infinity Cradle set 7 back in I think November now, so it's been a couple of months now. So it's not brand new, but I realized I never posted the deck. So this is my 3rd edition of the Nubatama deck. First one was Fuzencongo, second one was Jamyocongo, and then now Akatsuki Hanzo. So start off, of course, the main Vanguard, Akatsuki Hanzo. He is super cool. Basically, he retires 2 grade 0 rearguards, so it can be that. Now that is worth mentioning, that it can be a token, which is usually a token, but you like if you need to, you can call down trigger units to rearguard to retire for his effect. He doesn't require tokens, it just has to be grade 0 rearguards. So basically you do that. It's a main phase skill, he gets 20k, so he goes up to 32,000. Then you can bounce any number of rearguards on the field, including yours and the opponent's. And then for the opponent, they have to discard the number of cards in their hand equal to the number of rearguards that got bounced to their hand. So very, very good to push for game. Jamyocongo is good as a backup in some scenarios, but usually only because of this guy, Fuzencongo. So run 2 Fuzencongo, but now no Jamyocongo. Because originally what I would do is like I would go Akatsuki Hanzo, then I would re-ride as Jamyocongo. I'd have like, I would either be like Akatsuki, then Akatsuki again for another protect marker, then him for the 3rd one, and then I would call this guy as a rearguard. Or sometimes what I find myself doing is just rewriting into him. But the thing is, you don't really want to rewrite into Fuzencongo because you want to do the bounce. That's why. So I thought, okay, well, why not just like rewrite him and then call him? Like, why do you need Jamyocongo? Jamyocongo is good because he basically seals the deal. But sometimes, for the most part, if you play the deck correctly, Fuzencongo with Hanzo doing the bounce skill is enough to make them lose that game. So he's not really, Jamyocongo is not really needed, is what I'm saying. You can still run him if you want, but just know that the problem you'll run into, or what I've experienced, is the inability to have evil decoy tokens on the field at all times, because if Jamyocongo is the Vanguard or the other grade 3, you don't have any way of generating evil decoy tokens. So thankfully there's another grade 3 in the deck that fixes that problem, and that is Gamigyobu. So I'm running 3 of him instead of Jamyocongo. He replaced my 3 Jamyocongo basically, because not only does he have the force marker, the protect marker, he can generate tokens as a rearguard, and he can bounce himself back up to the hand, so you can use him, as discard fodder for a Sentinel or something. So really, really good. And when he has an effect where when he gets attacked, he can change the target to one of the tokens, so he can like basically bounce the attack over to a decoy token that he called, or it's been sitting there. So I feel like he's bad as a Vanguard. That's true. At least he has the protect marker, so that doesn't hurt him too much. But he is just, I have found myself in situations where the deck, when you run Jamyocongo, you run into consistency issues, not being able to call your tokens enough to be able to pull off Hanzo's effect. And with this guy, that fixes that problem. So 9 grade 3s, usually with protect decks, I usually like to run 9 grade 3s because protect has lots of PG, so you have PG fodder in the form of grade 3s. You have a lot of rewriting. Usually there's also a finisher card that has a Vanguard rearguard effect like this, or if we're talking OTT, Victorious Deer would be an equivalent of this guy. So that's why I feel like 9 grade 3, 4, 3, 2 is like a really good common lineup you'll see if you watch my decks that deal with protect clans. For grade 2s, MVP of the deck is Evil Stealth Dragon Zangetsu. This guy is amazing. He's the main source of generating the tokens that actually help you do stuff, offensively because the other token generators, like this guy for instance, they don't generate power on the token, so the token can't be used to boost for that turn or attack. This guy brings the token out for that one turn with 5k power, so they can actually boost, and it gives them boost. Because normally they have intercept and 5k shield and no power. I mean, that's usually what they do. So Zangetsu puts in a whole lot of work, and his ability to call them is Vanguard or Rearguard, and it's not once per turn, so you can counterblast as much as you need to call as many tokens as you need to. And he also has the same effect as Gamigyobu, where he can like bounce the attack. If he's attacked as a Rearguard, he can bounce the attack over to a decoy token, and that can die instead. So he's kind of hard to get rid of. Both of them are hard for the opponent to get rid of, unless they're running like retire and bind effects. But it's hard to attack into them to get rid of them. So very, very good cards overall. So I like all these cards came in the same set, so they're all designed, including Fuzencongo, so they're designed to all work together. Next, another card from the same set is Stealth Dragon Jaenjin. So this guy, I don't know, sometimes I feel like he's not super essential, but he is another way to countercharge. But Numatama surprisingly has a lot of countercharge, but they also tend to be extremely counterblast heavy in just such simple, subtle ways. Like Zangetsu, for example, that counterblast 1 looks so innocent, like, oh, that's not going to use that many resources. You're going to end up like counterblasting like 4 times with this guy to bring out tokens throughout the game. That's usually what ends up happening. So being able to unflip is very, very important ability, and that's why we run Jaenjin. But there's lots of different choices for the grade 2 lineup. Some people might run Magatsu's Gale. I don't really think he's needed. I tried him, but you'll run into resource problems when you run him. The best thing about him is that he gives you that draw effect. Just straight up draw a card, which is very nice for a Protect clan. But the only other grade 2 I'm running is 3 Tsunamasa. So Momentary Stealth Rogue Tsunamasa is really good because he helps you soul charge. So basically when he's placed as a rearguard, you choose a unit on your field, give it 3k power until the end of the turn. Now if you chose a grade 3, which is usually what you're going to choose, he gets the soul charge 1. The nice thing about this is sometimes you'll blind soul charge a grade 3, and that makes it much, much easier to pull off the Fuzencongo finisher earlier rather than later, but you just remember that you still have to have a pretty beefy drop zone in terms of card count for this effect to go off to seal the deal. So 3 Tsunamasa, because he doesn't have any Vanguard effect, so he's just your 3 of, if you're running standard like 4-4-3. For grade 1s, we run 4 Stealth Fiend, Tataribue. So this guy, he is your turn 1 ride because he has that Vanguard effect like Sable Dragonu, where when he hits a Vanguard, he gets to draw a card. And then if you have a grade 2 or a grade 0 rearguard, he's a 13k during your turn. So he's your booster. He, like when you've got decoys next to him and stuff like that. So he's usually going to go behind the Vanguard. Sometimes you'll put him on a rearguard line. But he's your 4 of your standard grade 1 for the deck. And the other, probably the most important grade 1 is Evil Stealth Dragon Kurogiri. So basically anything that says Evil Stealth, so there's 3 evil, or is there 4? No, there's 4 Evil Stealth. This guy's, yeah. So we've got four Evil Stealth cards in the deck. And these are the 4, I run all 4 of them. Now, some people will say, don't run this guy, run Jamyocongo. That's fine, I was doing that in the past. The deck is okay, but it's like sometimes you'll have consistency issues because you won't have enough ways of generating evil decoy tokens. Evil decoy tokens is the focus of the deck, so I wanted to maximize being able to see them. That's why I run this grade 3 guy. But this guy's very, very essential because for Soul Blast 2, bounce to hand, call 2 decoy tokens. That alone gets you the cost needed for Akatsuki Hanzo. So that's why you gotta run 4 copies of this guy. He's so essential in terms of the grade 1 space. Running 4 copies of this guy, just super, super important. Right up there with Zangetsu. If you're gonna build the deck, just know like the most essential cards are 4 Hanzo, 4 Zangetsu, and 4 Kurogiri. This other guy, I'll say, go ahead and say is optional. But just know, if you're starting from scratch, Jamyocongo is way more expensive to obtain than this guy. This guy's just a double R, and he's pretty much dirt cheap as far as I remember. So the deck is easier. This deck is cheaper and easier to build than the previous edition that ran Jamyocongo. And it works just as well. Because, like I said, your big finisher play is Fuzencongo, and he's a double R. He's pretty cheap to get as well. So, 4 of those. Then I run 3 Sakurafubuki. This card is also almost essential, not mandatory, I would say. If you can't find this card, it is kind of hard to find now because it's from BTL3. The 3 to 4 of this, because it's another way to countercharge, and when a turn where you countercharge with it, it's a 11k attacker or booster. So that's really, really good. I think of this as Dorient from like the olden days of Revenger, Raging Form Dragon with the unflip ability, because you can do funny, or you can do really good combos with this, where it's like you can use up like 1 counterblast with Zangetsu, then pull this down, flip it back over, then use a counterblast again for Zangetsu, and you still have 1 more counterblast. You know, combos like that. So 3 Sakurafubuki, and then I'm running 2 Aogita. So this guy you could run 1 of. If you want to run 4 Sakurafubuki, that's fine. I might actually do that. But I just wanted to be able to at least have this guy on the field at one point. If you have 1 of him, I feel like it's just too rare. Sometimes he'll just end up being in the damage zone or something that you won't see him. But 2 of him, because he helps you get stuff in the soul. He fixes the issue with being very, very soul blast heavy. Because, for instance, this guy uses soul blast 2, so you're going to kind of need to conserve soul a little bit for this guy. Tsunamasa helps fix that. This guy helps fix that as well. But again, this guy's not 100% essential, especially since you're running Tsunamasa. So if you only want to run 1 of him, you can go ahead and bump Sakurafubuki up to 4. I'm just showing you guys some different variety in terms of the rearguard lineup. And for trigger lineup, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to run the Mijinjakure draw sentinels because you'll protect. You're going to run them in the draw form. That's usually, for this deck, it's more protect and disruption, hand disruption, field disruption oriented deck, as opposed to OTT, which is all about like either drive checks if you're Magus, or you know, looking at your deck and drawing a bunch of cards if you're Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu, that sort of thing. So I feel like those decks are more better at running 12 crit, whereas this deck is better at keeping the draw sentinels in the deck because they need the grade 1 variety for one thing, but they also you know, they need the draw power. They don't have as much draw power as like you know, Tsukuyomi and some other protect based clans. So the other rest of the triggers are just your standard 8 criticals and 4 heals, and then your starter Magatsu win. I still don't understand why, after all this time, unless I'm mistaken, unless they did get a star, I'm not aware of it. They probably did get a star, I just don't know about it. But anyway, guys, that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think of Akatsuki Hanzo. I think he's more fun to play than Jamyocongo. I don't think I ever posted my Jamyocongo build, but it's basically him with Magatsu Storm and some of the cards that carry over from Kurogiri Kongo. But he's still a really good card as well. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of Hanzo, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.